Hello and welcome to Renatus Invest Edge. We are so excited to be here today. I am your co-host, Mitch Nelson. That's right, despite the resemblance, I am not Jay Stark. Jay is away on business today, and I get the privilege and the honor of co-hosting this incredible podcast, and I'm excited to be here. And I also get the privilege and the honor of introducing our host for the day. And no, it's not Bob Snyder. It's someone who I love and respect equally to Bob Snyder. Someone who I would follow through thick and thin, who I've known for 12 years. This guy is a freaking stud, and we are so grateful to have him in the studio today. Our new and improved studio, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be talking about that, but it's my pleasure to introduce Matt Snyder.
Thank you, Mitch. Dude, you're a rock star, man, and I really appreciate you working this on the fly. This is a new studio. And as such, we're running cables all the way to the last moment. So we're making this happen. But we got this thing up and going. Maybe we'll, it looks like we're going to see the new desk here in a second. I'm excited about it. This kind of stuff, this is, you get nerded out on this kind of stuff. It's like a news desk style. Yeah, this thing's great. Like
Amazing.
Super fun. New studio location. We're making room because we're doing so many big things. So
That's right. We never stop innovating, right?
No, we don't, man. We're always doing stuff. So that's what I love it around here. Like we never get to like where it's just like the same old. There's always like new classes being filmed, new strategies, new something, whether it's the InvestEdge itself, right? That's a new style, I guess, over the Founders Live that we used to do. So anyways, so I am not Bob Snyder, as you can probably tell.
There's some family resemblance, though.
Yeah, people say that we sound the same when we cough.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know.
There you go. You have the same cough.
We do.
It's genetic, I guess.
We do.
I think, if I've actually got a story. My son at Leaders Retreat in the Dominican Republic thought that Jay was me. And so he went over and rested his head on Jay's shoulder. He's like, "You think I'm your dad, don't you?" So
that's funny.
I mean, you got the family resemblance going to Bob. I kind of look like Jay a little bit. Even my son thinks that Jay's me. I guess if you squint, or if we can get Aaron to turn it down to 720p resolution, they might think we're Bob.
Yeah,
and
it
Jay.
might. It might. It might. It's definitely unique to be in that situation. I know I've been walking through a crowd a time or two where all of a sudden some strange child grabs my hand thinking I'm their dad, and it throws you a little bit. It's like, what are you? Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I know what's going on. Like, you just don't expect, when you're not expecting your hand to get grabbed, it's a little weird, right? Like they sneak up behind you. Anyways, Aaron, how do I get this, the PowerPoint to pull up?
Just go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. So on the Renatus Invest Edge, and specifically our Renatus YouTube channel, share, like, save, subscribe, and make sure that you hit that bell so that you're getting the notifications when we go live, especially in instances like this where we're running a little behind. That way you know that we're doing it. And, I wanted to kick this call off before I bring out our guest on this call. I wanted to talk about our mission statement. We worked hard to figure out what words should be said in the mission statement. It's not by accident. Our mission is to create a new generation of real estate investors equipped with principle-centered financial education that empowers them to reduce debt faster, cut taxes legally, negotiate smarter, and invest wiser through educational strategies designed to pay for themselves. That's right, it's the education that is designed to pay for itself. Probably not many out there could say that, right? That's the design of it. But we want to take people and turn them into real estate investors, and we want to do that with everybody, frankly. But especially people who aren't what you would consider or think of as a real estate investor. The average quote unquote people. We want to take them and turn them into a real estate investor.
It's so cool seeing, getting the opportunity to be a part of the leadership of our local group here in Salt Lake. It's really cool to show up every week and look at these people who have totally transformed their lives because of the Renatus education. And as I look into the crowd, it's like, man, you worked at Walmart when I met you, and now they're out doing some incredible amount of real estate. Now, doing wholesale, doing fix and flips. I have a member of our community, Mahea. I mean, she worked at Mountain America Credit Union, and now she's now she's owning real estate and like doing, I think she's on like her 12th deal, and it's
amazing.
It's so incredible. And,
it is,
and
fun.
that mission, you're nailing it. It's awesome.
It's what we do, and it's hard not to want to scream that from the rooftops because there's so many people that are like that that I could point to that started at Jiffy Lube or roofing as a redhead in July.
In July,
Okay.
Apple Store.
The Apple Store.
Slinging iPhones.
That's right. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna bring out our wonderful guest because this person is somebody that also cut their teeth in real estate, and he's been doing it for, I think he said since 2007, but he's done over 250 deals in his career. And while regular real estate investors are playing checkers, he's out here playing chess. Bill Predebon knows how to move across the board. And so, Bill, why don't you come out here and tell us a few things you've learned over the years?
How are you, folks?
Hey,
right on. Hey, guys.
The legend.
Hey, it's an honor and a legend. Honor to be here with you too, man. Legends yourselves. It's a privilege to be on the InvestEdge today to share some information and talk real estate, talk news, talk stories, talk just insights and experiences. So I appreciate being here alongside of you two. Your own what's the word I'm looking for? Impressive. I cannot think of the word I'm looking for. Track record precedes itself. You know what I mean? So I appreciate being here. Right on.
Well,
thank you, Bill.
Appreciate it, Bill.
So I'm excited for E3. I can't wait for you to kind of share that with everybody. I'm excited to come out. I'm excited for, I was recently given the opportunity to record a class on From the Ground Up, doing new construction. I'm not sure if you all have heard this. I'm sure you have. Are you familiar with the latest increase or drop in real estate rate? Pretty exciting.
We did
lowest
hear that.
of the whole year.
That's
6.4.
Freaking awesome. Hopefully that makes the market break loose a little bit, which is I think something we've all been hoping for.
And they're talking about future rate increases or drops, which have been good. I mean, there's the inflation factor, but it's good to hear. I mean, there's movement on all fronts across the country. They're not just going, fly by the seat of their pants. I think they're taking their time. I think, whoever the powers that be, whoever they are, they're making decisions not lightly, and they're kind of checking some balances. They're getting some feedback. And then, that's why perhaps we haven't seen it as of yet, right? There's been a lot of other things we've needed to kind of work on. And so, speaking to even one of my lenders the other day, I had a meeting in Phoenix. I flew back. I'm out in Michigan in my lake house right now, or we're going to be going back to Phoenix, but I had to fly back. We had a nice monsoon in Michigan. A 50-foot pine tree fell on one of my duplexes. That was cool. So make sure you're insured. I just got to say that. 4 branches on this pine tree went through the roof into the living room. And luckily, my tenant didn't get killed or hurt. That's good.
Serious.
Had to relocate her. And then, but good things are coming, and it's exciting to see some of the changes that we're looking forward to. Yeah.
How does a 50-foot pine tree fall in a house? I mean, it seems like there's probably something that preceded it.
Well, it wasn't that healthy, number one, but it was a microburst storm. I mean, it was one of the rare ones. This is right in center Phoenix, like at the Biltmore area. The problem with trees in general, especially pine trees, which is why they're not really, natural to the area or indigenous to the area, they can't get their roots deep. Like, it's so hard to ground, it goes like this. The root ball is so big, so you know what I mean? It's such a big root ball, but it only goes down a few feet. it can't really get into the ground. There's no water. You have to keep dripping on them. And, those roots die out as pine trees do, and they go up. So then they have to go farther out. And eventually you don't have the strength to hold it up for these major winds. Yep.
Well, so
Yeah.
I hope, were you insured?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love insurance.
I
You know
assumed
what?
you were.
Every real estate investor loves insurance. It's funny.
Yeah.
I hear people say all the time. I talk to a lot of people who want to get into real estate investing, and one of the comments they frequently make is, "I just need to get better at taking risks." It's like, dude, that is not what we do. We don't take risks. Well, I don't expect you to lower your risk tolerance at all. What I expect you to do, and what I've done and what Bill's done, and I'm sure you can speak to this a little bit, Bill, is we've elevated our knowledge level above our risk tolerance. So, to think that a real estate investor like yourself is someone that's like, oh, give me the risk. No, of course not. This is why we love insurance, right?
You're 100%
Because they'll take the risk
right.
for you.
Right. We learn to mitigate the risk
Yep.
through extended knowledge, hanging out with people that have been there, done that, learning what you need to do to obviously mitigate more risk instead of take more risk. You could take more risk when you understand, that you're covered on certain areas because you've learned how to cover yourself, right? And I know what they mean. Oh, I'm scared to sign on the dotted line. I'm scared, that one TV show with the wall, and they don't want to sign the contract because there might be $1 million on. That's a guessing game. I'd love to be a contestant on the wall because the money on that show is amazing, right? And it's only an hour of your time, but there's no education there, and it's all risk, right? It's all risk, zero reward most of the time. But real estate's a little bit different. A couple other things. It's interesting. I love what honestly. Number one is I hear this, Mitch, and I sure know the two of you have too, right? It's not too late necessarily. Like there are the naysayers. It's too late. It's too little, too late. I'm too old. Whatever it is, the prices are too high. Like I get all that. I can see it on the surface. But most people believe that it's just too much. It's just too expensive, right? It's all relative. It doesn't matter if it was $30,000 in 1950 or if it's $300,000 in 2025. There was real estate bought, right? You know this. So this is coming out recently, and so things are crazy moving, right? People that bought homes in 2001, 2002, and 2003, a normal buyer's market. It hadn't taken off on the West and the East Coast yet. None of that was going on. The dot-com had just done its thing in 2000, but things were starting to pick up, but not yet. The market wasn't taking off yet. Normal people. Then we go through the greatest, arguably the worst recession ever, but as far as not the stock market, maybe except having Black Monday, where whatever that was, it was 2,500 points in one day. I don't remember, but October 8th was it, or maybe that was the real estate. But anyway, so we have this crash, 70% in most major markets, right? Those homes today, you buy a home, 2002, $225,000. The equity average in today's market, 15 to 20 years later, 339, not the value, the equity in the home. And most of those people bought it, they stayed through the crash, they lived it out, and now they're going to get ready to sell and or downsize and or retire. It's an incredible opportunity for investors because we haven't flipped those houses yet. They've been living in them for 20 years, right? And they're going to make a ton of money on the sale of the house. Like there's so much opportunity. And people are like, oh, but if you're starting out today, I mean, just imagine buying a house today. Okay, it's $525. We all know that $500,000 houses in 2030, 2034 are going to be worth $900 to 1.2. It's just in major markets, right? There's too much tech. There's too much stuff going on, right? And the other opportunity, Mitch, you've experienced this with your marketing skill set, and now Matt, obviously doing this, all the marketing you do for, as a vice president of this company, AI, everybody talks about it, but it's making it, God forbid, easier to learn to invest, to double check your figures, to double check your decisions, to have more access to information. It's unprecedented what it does, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty exciting stuff. So, I mean, yeah.
I love AI. AI has become an amazing tool. One thing that I have learned about AI is that unless you have kind of a base knowledge in the thing that you're trying to use AI for, it makes it a little bit more difficult to be able to trust, because AI is fallible, right? I mean, I've put some stuff in AI where I'm like, hey, tell me what you think about this, and then it pops out this thing that's not even close to what I was looking for. So I think having that base knowledge is good, but it's true. AI's taken over, man. It's everywhere, and being able to use it as a tool to go out and augment and elevate what we're doing in real estate is going to be a really cool thing.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say on the end of the show, right? And as we progress through this little transaction here, is Mitch, that's exactly why we're here. You said it, you nail on the head, right? It's getting educated in whatever it is you're doing. It's going to the right spot to utilize the tools. And that's the basis, as you basically were alluding to when you were talking about gaining experience to increase your risk tolerance level, but mitigate even more risk. You're actually taking less risk with more education. So same thing here with what you're talking about. So that's why we're here at Renatus. You know what I mean? That's why the program, the systems, the opportunity, the communities across the nation, the 90 plus, classes we have, the 50 plus, 48 plus instructors. It's just crazy the amount of, I was at a place the other night in Phoenix. I was out watching a game, and this young kid, I don't know, he saw one of my watches. He just came up to me. He's like, I was showing the Northern Lights. We have them right off our dock. My wife and I was Sunday before I flew out to Phoenix. We were taking pictures of Northern Lights. It was dancing like crazy, and I was showing them to this guy at me at where we were watching the game. And this kid was like, "Wow, you have your own lake house." He's like, obviously you've done some things right. And he's like, what's the advice? Of course they will. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm glad you came and asked me, right? Most people don't even have the gumption to do that, right? They think about it, they talk to their friends about it, but no one ever comes up and asks somebody, right? And that's like some of the YouTube pod videos and all those things. You'll see the people interviewing. I see you're driving a Lamborghini. What did you do? Where did you make your money? How long have you been doing it? What do you have? What's your advice? So he came up. I said, you know what? You gotta be with someone who's done it before. Minimize your mistakes. Learn from somebody else who can cut your time in half, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I always use the example of a heart surgeon. Like, if you think about it, there are people in this world, just like you, Bill, just like Matt, just like me, people that are literally cutting people open and working on their heart. And, if you or I thought to do heart surgery today, it probably wouldn't go so well.
No.
But a heart surgeon does it with a 99-100% success ratio every single day. What's the difference between you and me and a heart surgeon? Well, he went to school. He learned the theory of how to do it. Then he had a mentor and a coach that he followed, where he watched how this was done in real time as his coach and mentor did it. And then the coach and mentor at that point,
they lose money doing that internship, and then doing their what's it called? Their residency. They almost have to pay for it. Like they're literally going farther in debt in order to be right to learn from you. It's not like the guy's like, yeah, I'm a heart surgeon. Let me just teach you for free.
Right. But then look at the risk difference between, Bill, you doing heart surgery with your current medical knowledge, right? And a heart surgeon doing heart surgery. It's the difference is night and day. And the risk level skews with knowledge. And that's the thing about real estate investing. This is the financial equivalent of heart surgery. Like, this is a technical thing. And if you asked a heart surgeon, they'd probably tell you that a heart's a pretty simple thing. It just pumps fluid. It's just a pump. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Right? So I mean, for the heart surgeon who knows about it, it's a simple thing. But for you and me, it's like, no, that's crazy. Like, we wouldn't dare to dive into that stuff.
What's funny, guys, as well, is if you ask a heart surgeon what they think about real estate investing, they probably wouldn't do it, and they probably give their money to someone who knows how to do it, because they don't have the time or energy to go learn them themselves. But they're not going to go buy a bunch of houses and try to flip them on a Saturday night either. You know what I mean? They're just as smart knowing what they don't know and letting someone else do with what they don't know, right? Like, the experts, we talk about being the expert in the room, not the smartest guy in the room, but understanding something very well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So Bill, I'm curious. I've got a question for you, because obviously every one of us kind of went through this point where we kind of got over that fear, that worry of, this feels so risky, and I don't want to go do it because what if I lose everything? What was that point for you? What were you doing before real estate investing? And then what was it that got you over that hump of, how do I take this risk, quote unquote, and go out and try this thing? Everybody had a first deal,
So
right?
I love this question. What's that?
I said everybody has a first deal, right?
Right, absolutely. And I love this question, and I've had it asked to me before. First of all, I was in business. I was a little ignorant. I was really good at selling sporting goods as a pro athlete. I understood, sales, communication, running a store, expanding, but I really didn't understand business. I really didn't understand protection. I kind of grew too fast. And I ended up, in the crash of, even before the crash, but we were starting out in California. I owned 4 Play It Again sports stores in Southern California. And the writing was on the wall, but, we thought I just assumed I was immune to it. I mean, it never occurred to me that something like what happened to me could happen. It was my own fault, realistically. It was ignorance and a little bit of, poor advice, whatever it was. But ultimately, I was a store owner. I was not a businessman, right? So, number one is my back was a little bit against the wall. So I perhaps at my age at the time, I was forced to really make a decision on what I was going to do, right? Go back to school, try to put my education to work, increase my education through the traditional schooling, or, get a job, right? And I didn't, you know what I mean? They weren't, many of those things were not appealing to me at 38. I will tell you the answer to your question, and I love this, is that when I was introduced to Renatus at the time, and it was 08, Matt, and I was introduced in 07, but I got started in 08. I enrolled in the program. I enrolled in the vision. I enrolled in the opportunity. I enrolled in the educators. So when I watched a class, I trusted what they said. My mentor was telling me, this is how you do it. If you do A, then B, then C, right? And I didn't watch the class once. I didn't ask him one question, right? You took advantage of the education that you were invested in. I put an effort into it. I treated it like an actual business. I wanted to make it work. And so therefore, and I spent a significant amount of money being 100% broke. I mean, I had no retirement, no car. That was repossessed, right? In 300,000 upside down in 2 houses. I was zero credit, right? It was down to like 500. I filed bankruptcy. I foreclosed on my very first condo I ever bought in Southern California. Like every possible scenario financially was terrible for me. Other than, I was fortunate enough to have a girlfriend at the time who was very smart in the opposite position. So my point is that it was a significant amount of money at the time for me, but that in fact that I did invest was I was going to take their word for it. I mean, I was going to be like, this is how you do it. This guy's been telling me that he's done 250 deals. He's done 1,000 transactions. He or she has been doing this for 15 years. He or she seen this result from this action. So why not believe it? Why not just use it? I didn't have to go look for it on my own. I didn't want to go double check. I'd already spent the money. The company had already vested the people telling me. You know what I mean? Bob, your dad, Matt, these people, you as the home team, you guys find the best of the best of the best to do this, so we don't have to worry about any of those things. And so, Mitch, that's it. Is getting over that fear was literally believing in the system.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about learning from practitioner instructors, right? Is we kind of have it easy because we're watching people who they're not paid salaries to stand up and preach to us from a pulpit out of a textbook. Yep. Like these are people who have actually done it. And Bill, you're the product of the product, right? You started as a student, now you're an instructor because you've had so much success in the real estate game. But it's so cool that you're the type of person we get to learn from. Who better to learn how to do a ground up build than from Bill Predebon, who's done hundreds of them.
Yep.
That's why we do it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's why we find Bill Predebons.
Right? And that's it. Fortunately, Mitch, you and I get to be a product of the product because of Matt and his father and Jay and the home team. They put together this vision. They followed it. They carried it out. You and I become, enroll in the whole life cycle, the idea of helping others and helping ourselves. And, some of the opportunities, especially with like the ground up class and it ground up, you're thinking, I tear down the house and I got to get plans and I got to go through the city and all these things. But boy, the opportunities too in ground up, some of the demands right now are assisted living, private private pay assisted living, 4 or 5 bedrooms. You guys have probably, I know you have because you guys are out there doing this, but we're talking about co-living. We're talking about mixed use living. We're talking about all the things that people want to do, right? And the opportunity to build a home and create what everybody's in demand for. A lot of the homes are not in the zoning areas. They're not in the right spots. And it's with ground up, you can essentially, draw whatever it is that you want to see your plan execute, right? So I love it. There's a lot of great opportunities in real estate that, when you and I started, Mitch and Matt, you guys, they didn't exist. Co-living was not a thing, right? Renting out rooms was a thing at college, maybe that someone subletted with illegally. You know what I mean? Everybody rented the house. But now, we're building the homes, and we are literally putting kitchens and washing machines in the person's room. So it's almost like they share a house, but they don't share a common area inside the home because people want their privacy, but they don't want to pay for a full house. And you can have a lease for each room. You don't even have to have codependency on the lease if someone bails, right? They can take off the next month and someone new comes in.
Yeah, I love it.
There's a lot of things that go ahead.
So, Bill, the target of this call is to bring in the uninitiated when it comes to Renatus and get them up to speed with what we offer and what we do. You've got a new class coming out. What are maybe the top 2 or 3 things that you would point out that are in that class that people should watch and listen to?
Well, I love something that Mitch said earlier, right off the top. It set the tone kind of is risk, right? I like when you take my class and you see how you mitigate risk through new construction with the fact that, in my opinion, there's less variables in new construction. The plan of the house has to be followed by the builders and the subcontractors, the people themselves, because the architect did all the work. Then the city approved all the work. There's not a fix and flip where you kind of don't pull a permit, but you should pull a permit, or you do all this stuff and you're guessing. You don't know what the guy, that house sold down the street for $350, but you have no idea how much he put into it. You have no idea if he took out all the insulation and never put it back in. All you know is that it sold for $350, right? The comp is very, there's so much variable in a fix and flip. So I'm not saying don't do fix and flip, but number one is I love the idea of the mitigated risk with knowledge in a new construction. And I mentioned it just a little while ago, the demand for new construction, right? After this 10 to 12, almost 15-year hiatus of most builders building, once they decided to ramp up in 17, it takes them 10 years to you start to see all these we're still almost 4 to 5 million homes short of new construction home availability across the country, right? So there's an incredible, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people bought their houses and that was their only house. They bought it, and then the crash came 5 years later. They weren't getting divorced. They weren't getting downsizing or upsizing. They sat on it and waited 10 more years to 15 more years for it to come all the way back. So they haven't been touched. There's not new stucco. There's not a new roof. There's not a new air conditioner. There's not a new heater. There's not a new, water basement, all the water problems we're having with more storms. All of these things need to update all those houses. There's so much opportunity coming down the pipe for new construction. I love the idea of new construction. And, I guess lastly, not last, but a third item about new construction, and let's be frank on this show, and that's why you come to Renatus. We want to make money. You know what I mean? No offense, but we want to help people. The only way we can help people is help ourselves, right? We all get on airplanes. We all know you got to put your own mask on. We got to put our mask on. And we can make a lot of money in 1 year on one construction project that's new construction, not 20. The average fix and flip in Utah, 42,000. The average flip in Phoenix, 25,000, right? But you can make multiple hundred, and I mean, on average, multiple hundred six-figure profits over the course of a year. Now you can make a little bit of money. You do almost the same amount of work. On average, you're dealing with 15 to 20 types of subcontractors for both houses. You both need a plumber, you both need an electrician, you both need to patch the roof, you both need an AC guy, you both need a flooring guy, you both need a bathroom guy, right? You both need a painter, you both need a landscaper. It doesn't matter. These guys don't have to step on each other's toes. They have an order that it goes in. So there's a lot of money to be made, and the subs love it, and it can run smoothly, and you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to flip 200 or do 250 deals to do a new construction. You can come out of the gate, take the class, take a few surrounding classes, meet the community, come to E3, and dive into it immediately.
There's something you said there that really kind of stuck out to me, because I have a successful fix and flip business, and I've been running that for over a decade now, about 12 years. And first deal I did was because I learned how to do it from Renatus. But the first thing you said, the first thing on your list was, in a flip, and this is so true. I can't tell you the number of times that I've sent out my inspectors. I'm talking due diligence before I buy the house. Sent out my inspectors, sent out my contractors, thinking that I can know exactly what's going on with this house before I buy it. And then I can set up my plan of, it needs this and this and this and this. And then I buy it and I get into the house, and like $10 or $15 or $20,000 worth of stuff happens, or that I find that I didn't see beforehand, that end up completely changing my numbers. That's something that I love about the new canvas of a ground up new construction, is you already know everything it needs. There's not really very many surprises that are going to happen, because there's an order to it and it needs all of it. So it's really easy to be able to create a game plan and stick to that game plan and have a trajectory and just follow it and be done, make your money. I love that.
Totally. Yeah, I love it too. You're exactly right.
Well, Bill, this has been a fantastic conversation, man. Thank you so much for coming out here. I love you. You know this, right? We had a magical time on a boat ride down in Costa Rica. We got to know each other really good with 120 of our other best friends, and I really look back on that trip fondly. So thank you, and it was really good to get to know you.
Yeah, I agree, Matt. Yeah, I was fortunate, because we don't, and that's the other thing, we're a pretty tight little family, is being 30,000 plus, across the country, and everybody knows everybody, no matter what their position is, how new or old they are in the group, how seasoned they are or green. And, Mitch and I had a pretty good talk in Panama on the boat too. We had a good time. So I've gotten to know you guys. It's, I do miss Bob and Jay, but I got to say, you guys are right there. This has been a fantastic episode, my friend.
Well, so grateful that, filling in today has been an honor, but how exciting that I got to spend it with Bill. So thank you, Bill.
Thank you,
Absolutely. Bill. Thanks, guys.
I've just got a few announcements that I'll wrap this call up with. This is for our existing ICMs that are already a part of Renatus. Inside of the back office, you can find the new education promo that is done on the deal of the decade with Chris Albin. Go check that out. This class is amazing. I mean, the deal of the decade comes along about once every week when you know what to look for. Also, I would be remiss if I forgot to talk about our social media presence. We've got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Go out there and subscribe and make sure that you're following, so you get pertinent updates. You know what's going on. You know what we're doing, especially when it comes to the E3 conference that's coming up. It's going to be a big one. We actually have, I have, I guess, the honor of getting to promote my dad's my dad's drive sales system book that he co-wrote with Woody Woodward. It's available for pre-order, and the pre-order actually fulfills tomorrow. So if you buy it today, you will get it tomorrow. But go out there and get it.
I bought mine already.
Yeah, I got mine already. We obviously want to sell as many as we can right from the get-go, to get this thing. I want to see it on the New York Times bestseller list. But it's a phenomenal book, and I'm excited to really deep dive on it, because this wasn't just written it wasn't something that was written haphazardly. They spent so much time going months and months where I'd see Woody come here regularly as they're discussing and the whiteboard and they're figuring, they went through this.
Man. It's been years that this
has
been in the works.
At the time that they started to put, pen to paper, so to speak, it was months of, yes. Yeah. But everything that's contained within this book goes back decades. Yeah. It took them both decades to learn. So go out there. You can use this link if you're not in a position to grab that link right now.
I do have to say real quick, sorry not to
you're
interrupt
good.
you, Matt, but I do have to say it's been really cool, like being able to watch the development of the drive system,
Yeah.
first person, just seeing Bob and Woody like develop this over time, and as somebody who has used the drive system in my business, like it exploded my sales. It's helped with my conversations and my interpersonal relationships with my clients. I would credit it with saving my marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible thing. And if you are a novice at the drive system, if you're aware of it but you haven't started using it yet in your life, or if you've never heard of it before, and you're looking to up your real estate game, your business game, you have to pre-order this book. It's going to be awesome. I'm super excited for it. I'm so excited to read it tomorrow.
Couldn't second that more. As a matter of fact, my wife and I use drive language in our marriage to help understand one another, because once you understand where somebody's coming from, the way that they think and the way that they see the world, and they fulfill, their drive, you'll learn about it in the book. It changes everything. Your interactions, your ability to connect with that person is everything. So even though this is a sales book, you're selling in marriage, right? You're selling yourself every day.
Sales is just communication with a $sign attached to it. Right?
It really is.
That's all it is.
It really is. So go pre-order that book, and you can find it if you can't use this link. You can find it by searching on Amazon. If you go to Amazon.com, just search Drive Sales System, you'll find it. Next up, we've got the E3 conference coming up here, October 23rd through the 25th. This is going to be a big deal. We've got over 30 instructors that are going to be in town for this, that are going to be teaching from stage. This is not anything short of transformational. I mean, it's going to be a very educational event. So if you are brand new, you don't know anything about real estate, this is the conference to be at. If you want to learn from 30 plus instructors like Bill Predebon, he's going to be one of them, then you need to be at the E3 conference.
I was at the last E3 conference in March, and just 3 days jam-packed full of knowledge that I then got to go out and start applying in my business. And I'll tell you, I mean, numbers through the roof after this thing, because you guys literally packed every one of those days with instructors and knowledgeable people to help me take my business to the next level. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And now I get to be a part of this one. Like I've already got my VIP ticket.
That's
like I had such a good experience at the last one that I am going all out on this one. I'm going to be at everything. There's not a thing I want to miss. And if that's you need to get your VIP ticket like right away. If you already bought a general admission ticket, call into customer service, upgrade to the VIP ticket, because it's going to be worth it. I'm going to be there. Matt's going to be there.
You bet.
My goodness, this is going to be so much fun. I'm stoked for it.
We're going to have a lot of people there. As a matter of fact, it's if you've purchased your regular ticket and you want to upgrade to a VIP ticket, it's a $303 upgrade, but that makes it so guests are free, and you get your own link that will allow you to share with your guests so that they can come. And if you need help upgrading, then contact customer service. You're going to see instructors like Garrick Gunderson come out and talk. I mean, if you don't know who he is, he's the founder of the Wealth Factory. And he's an author of several best-selling books. But I actually also saw him on Fox News. I mean, this was years ago, but that's where I saw him.
I think he's been on like every major network's money channel, money shows.
He's a big deal. He's a financial expert. He's their financial expert. I don't know if he still is, but he definitely was at the time. This was probably 10 years ago or more. I don't remember exactly, but he's very knowledgeable and very passionate, because whenever people are talking about finance and money, and I think all too often it can get a little dry. And I love listening to Garrett because he is so passionate. He jam-packs so much information in such a small amount of time. You don't feel like there's any wasted space. I have a special place in my heart for people, for instructors, for teachers that do that sort of thing. Another one of those would be Jason Andrus. He's a top producing salesman. He's done over 1,000 home inspections. I don't even know how many deals he's done. We should have put it on the slide. It's hundreds of real estate transactions that he's done. He's been a real estate investor for over 15 years. He's also a Renatus instructor. And if anybody exceeds Garrett Gunderson's passion, it would be Jason Andrus. It's funny, these slides are back to back because, man, Jason brings it. He's fun.
Yeah,
that guy's just fun. He's fun to hang out with. We've got Randall Cloud that's also going to be joining us at the E3. This is just a taste of a few of the instructors that are going to be at the E3 conference. Like I said, there's going to be over 30, but we figured we'd give you a taste with just 3 of them. Randall has been with Renatus actually since 2011. He started as staff and then became a student and then got so good at what he was doing, he became an instructor. He's our velocity banking expert. He also teaches and operates a short-term rental business that is, I mean, when you want to talk about out-of-the-box thinking, when people are like, oh, I have an Airbnb or whatever, and like, no, the way Randall's doing it is on such a higher level. He's thinking about every little thing that most people, I think, miss. And those little things turn into big things on the back end when it comes to reviews and growing your empire, of course. So, plus he's a family man. I absolutely love Randall. He's my brother-in-law, so he's my family. But he's kind of a big deal, actually. You'll get the chance to hear from him, but man, the guy is so knowledgeable. So make sure that you are at the E3 conference, October 23rd through the 25th. Make sure that you're not gonna let it go for anything. Even if you can only be there for 2 of the 3 days, it's gonna be worth it. Trust me. So if you want to get registered for the E3 conference, do so right now. Do not wait. You can use this QR code that we've got on the screen, or you can go to renatus.me/E3 Summit. That's renatus.me/E3 Summit. And lastly, but not leastly, my dad always wraps this up with the reminder that if home is where the heart is, shouldn't your business be there too? Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Take care.